If I had to describe the neighborhood in 2 to 3 words, an evolving place, a feeling of belonging, a feeling of being part of a neighborhood.
I describe this neighborhood as beautiful, peaceful, and caring.
A wonderful neighborhood, fabulous neighbors, great connectivity.
Energetic, friendly, and inspired.
It is a mix of traditional housing from the 1914, 1912 period, but also right up to the 30s and also to more contemporary houses. So we have a number of duplexes with additional suites, and we also have co-op housing, as well as the Cridge Center for the Family, which brings in a seniors facility. One of our neighbors wanted to build a house on the side of an existing lot, and it turns out that there is a bylaw requiring 30 feet of sidewalk to be implemented when a lot is rezoned. The developer was told by the city that everyone in the neighborhood wanted sidewalks, and this was a big surprise to everybody. We started canvassing each other and learned that in fact not one household had been asked. That brought 21 neighbors together to figure out what it is that we really love about the area and how we want to protect and preserve it.
I really like the research that was done around slowing traffic, making this neighborhood walkable, that the streets become part of our neighborhood for the people, not just for cars.
The North American model is all about making room for the car. So we had to do a lot of research about alternatives. The Woonerf concept was attractive to be able to share it with friends in wheelchairs side by side, having art elements that present a bit of a navigational challenge to drivers that actually makes for slower speeds and safer streets. The Woonerf offering things like street furniture, a sense of place to interact with others, was the model that stood out.
One of the first projects was 2 Crescent Gardens on the corner of Kings and Mount Stephen, and that was after some group meeting.
When it was first starting, there was skepticism, there was sometimes indifference, but then once we started really getting things happening, people just seemed to blossom. Now the comments are coming fast and furious about how wonderful it is. I think from the reports about people finding this such a wonderful area to walk through, the main thing is that people have risen to the joy of being in the neighborhood.
We have people from other neighborhoods coming by to walk, and they say that this is a greater sense of connectivity up here, friendliness, and they also like the fact that they can walk in the middle of the street and the cars slow down.
The planters came from the city of Victoria. We have now a great relationship with many of the staff and had noticed that there were planters in their works yard, but they went one better, and the 2 planters that you see blocking one lane of Kings Road were brought from another neighborhood. We needed to clean them up and repaint to make them ours, and that was another My Great Neighborhood grant.
I think it's very important to understand how decisions are made at the civic level, the limitations of council's power, the inertia that bureaucracy and staff represent.
Put our knowledge together and created some wonderful presentation material, and a group of us went to City Council. We asked the mayor that we need a different way of thinking and a different way of acting on behalf of the city staff, that we wanted the mayor and the administrator to assign city staff who could work collaboratively with us, and we also wanted them to stop sidewalk installation on Kings Road. We wanted them to recognize the Woonerf and support it.
The Xeroscape demonstration gardens demonstrate that gardens can be planted with plants that are tolerant of low water and can still be beautiful, so that many neighbors are concerned if there is a garden planted on their boulevard that they're going to have to be out there watering all the time. And these plants, once they're established, will live comfortably in our Mediterranean environment. You'll see an incredible bench that has just recently been installed that was part of an oak tree that fell. Slabs from the oak tree were preserved and dried and made into 3 benches. one has been installed at that same corner. So it's a lovely, lovely corner to go and sit under the dappled shade of an oak tree on an oak bench with a lovely Crescent Garden right there. It's a little tiny park.
Our major source of funding is from the city, from my Great Neighborhood Grants. And today we've actually received 6 grants. When we submit it, the applicant has to put in what the neighborhood contributes. The city allows us to calculate $20 per hour per volunteer. As of today, the neighbors have actually contributed about $150,000 in time. We had neighbors donate money, businesses and nonprofits have donated. But again, it's the volunteer time which is just critical to the success. We have a great collaboration with the University of Victoria, and we've had several student projects. So we have to build relationships. And this is a major challenge because every time there's a change in any organization, there's a change in staff. So much time will need to go into informing, educating, and marketing.
This project has really given our neighborhood an opportunity to deal with social isolation. Isolation is one of the main things that causes physical illness and decline. And so this has been a great opportunity to let people come out and be together on things.
It's been a challenge to communicate to everyone. Started out as 22 people so they could talk to each other. A mailing list was started and it's now at 220 people. John has started a newsletter showing what projects we're working on. We have a website. A neighbor stepped up to look after Facebook and Instagram. One of the things we have to do is get people to come together. So creating parties or gatherings. One formal one was held with the help of a small neighborhood grant. We had a street party. Shutting the streets down, pulling people together is an important way to get us to know each other and learn about each other. There's been a potluck dinner.
In order to get people involved, I think you have to have a good spirit about it. And I think informing people, getting people to be involved by making it a fun project.
Ways to engage people is an ongoing challenge and a fun part of the whole project.
What we're now looking for in terms of carrying on this project are people to come out and help with watering, weeding, and doing anything that needs to be done to keep moving on down Kings to make it more beautiful all the way down. The whole notion of connecting and caring about our neighbors is what makes it fabulous. When I first moved here, I knew the people on either side of me, and that was about it. And after this project, I now can name 19 houses just within the corners of my street that I could go to if I was in a pinch. We know each other's names. It's not just a nod as you get in your car. So that to me is one of the huge benefits of working on this together.
Coming back to that feeling of creating a community where people feel they belong, where we know each other, where we make a difference in terms of the environment. It's a multi-generational effort to build a healthy community.